Hello students, welcome to English Classroom. I'm Dr. Suchitra Singh, Assistant Professor of English, VGDC, Vidyanagar. Today's session is on CONCORD, Subject-Verb Agreement for Semester 3, prescribed by Osmania University. Now let us start with this example. Now look at the following sentences. They is heading to the beach. His collection of books are impressive. They is heading to the beach. His collection of books are impressive. Do these sentences look or sound right? Do you find anything wrong in these sentences? Right? So what is it that we find it wrong? Let us look at these sentences from a very close view. They is heading to the beach. Now in this sentence, they is plural, right? And verb is singular. Similarly, let us look at the second sentence. His collection of books are impressive. Most of you might think this is right because books are plural. We have used a plural verb. But our subject is collection, right? So subject is singular and the verb is plural. So what is wrong here? The error is because there is no subject-verb agreement, right? So we tend to make a lot of errors while speaking, and most of the students find it difficult because they do not know how to make an agreement between the subject and verb. Now so today I'll be taking you through the subject-verb agreement session. Now you must be wondering, why should I learn? Now, you should learn this because it will help you to write grammatically correct sentences, have a perfect harmony between the subject and the verb, learn the rules of subject-verb agreement and will be able to avoid errors of verbs. The students will be able to use correct number and person of the verb in a sentence. Not only that, you will be able to speak effectively if you have a command over subject-verb agreement. Is it clear? So, now we'll start off with the definition of CONCORD. If we have to define a CONCORD, generally, the agreement between subject and verb in person, number, gender, or case is called CONCORD or subject-verb agreement. Right? So what is CONCORD? It is the agreement between subject and verb in person, number, gender, or case. In other words, to make a sentence meaningful and grammatically correct, the two parts of sentences, subject and verb, should match or agree with each other. Right? So now the next question you might ask is that, how to find if there is agreement between subject and verb? How should we know? Now, identify the subject and verb in a sentence. First thing that you have to learn is that to identify which is the subject we are talking about and which is the verb that has to agree with that subject. Let us do a small exercise to find out the subject and verb. Say the Supreme Court judge retires at 65. Here, our subject is judge and our verb is retires, right? Secondly, the survey covering 50 villages reveals interesting facts. The survey covering 50 villages reveals interesting facts. Generally, students think that 50 villages is the subject. But what are we talking about? We are talking about the survey, right? So survey is our subject, right? And reveals is our verb. Next one we'll see. The list of items is very long. Generally, we think items is the subject. No. List is our subject and is our verb. Look at this sentence. There were many important leaders at the meeting. Which is our subject over here? Leaders. And which is our verb? Verb. There were many important leaders at the meeting. Now we learn that subject need not be in the beginning. It can be anywhere. Right? Now let us look at this one more sentence. Everyone in this group is welcome to give suggestions. Everyone is our subject, not the group. And see, here we have is our verb and give also is our verb. The next sentence. His meticulous data amazes everyone. In this sentence, data is our subject and amazes is our verb. Now look at this sentence. The laces on these shoes never stay tight. Generally, students will think that the shoes is the subject. Shoes is not the subject. We are talking about laces. So laces is our subject and stay is our verb. Now see this little complex, this sentence. The temptation is to treat children as though they don't know anything. Temptation is our subject, right? And then we are also, again, they also is there, which is another subject, right? And is the verb and don't know is also the verb. So now we have learned how to identify a subject and how to identify a verb. Now we'll go to the next step, how to make an agreement. Once we have identified the subject and the verb, how we should make an agreement. Let us go ahead with that. If subject is singular, first rule. If subject is singular, the verb must be singular. Example, he writes neatly. Which is our subject? He. It is singular. So, writes is singular. Rekha sings a song. Which is our subject over here? Rekha. Rekha is singular or plural? Singular. So, if this is singular, then our verb also will be singular. So, Rekha sings a song. He is a good boy. Which is our subject? He. He is singular? Yes. So, our verb is also singular. So, what do we learn? If a subject is singular, the verb must be singular, right? Example, he writes neatly. Rekha sings a song. He is a good boy. Now, let us move to the next rule. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. Our next rule is, if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. For example, they are good players. They is subject, are is verb. Plural, right? The boys are in the playground. The boys is our subject. It is plural. So, we have written a plural form of verb. That is are. Similarly, the third sentence. They are dancing on the floor. They is our subject. It is plural. are is verb, right? So we have agreed, subject is agreeing with the verb. So what is our second rule? If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. That is, they are good players, the boys are in the playground, they are dancing on the floor, right? Now next rule, look at this rule. If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb must be singular. Once again I repeat, if two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb must be singular. For example, the secretary and correspondent is in the office. Now, secretary is one noun, correspondent is one noun, but they both refer to one person. So, the one person is only secretary, he is also the correspondent. So, we use a singular verb, right? Next sentence. Your uncle and guardian has come. Now, in this sentence also, uncle is also the guardian. So, uncle and guardian are the same person. So, we will use singular noun. Let us go to the next one. My friend and benefactor has come. Friend and benefactor is one person. So, we use singular noun, right? By the death of Gandhi, a great statesman and patriot was lost to India. Now, statesman and patriot are referred to Gandhi only. So, we use a singular noun. So, what do we understand? If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb must be singular. Example, the secretary and correspondent is in the office. Your uncle and guardian has come. My friend and benefactor has come. By the death of Gandhi, a great statesman and patriot was lost to India. Is it clear? Now let us go to a little complex one. Just careful understanding will make things easier. If two singular nouns refer to different persons, earlier we said if two singular nouns refer to one person. Now here we are saying if two singular nouns refer to different persons, the verb must be plural. Then the article is used before each noun. For example, the secretary and the correspondent are in the office. The secretary and the correspondent are two persons. Now you might say, Madam, you have used the sentence earlier and you said it is one person, same sentence, you are saying the same. Okay, now let us go back to the previous sentence. The secretary and correspondent is in the office. Here I wrote the secretary and here I wrote only correspondent. I did not add any article. But when you come down to this sentence, I said the secretary and the correspondent. When these two nouns are preceded by article, then they are two different. Right? So, this is how you should identify, right? Now, here also you see the poet and the dramatist. Two times I've used the article. So, it is plural. I will use my plural verb, have come. The orator and the statesman are dead, right? So, they are again two persons. So, what do we learn? If two singular nouns refer to different persons, the verb must be plural. Then the article is used before each noun. Example, the secretary and the correspondent are in the office. The poet and the dramatist have come. The orator and the statesman are dead. Right? Now let us look at the other two. If two nouns express one idea, the verb is in the singular. If two nouns express one idea, the verb is in the singular. For example, bread and butter is his food. Sorry, bread and butter is his food. Bread is different, butter is different, but the idea is food, right? So we should use singular form. Similarly, slow and steady wins the race, right? Slow and steady is one idea of the race. Express one idea, right? Early to bed and early to rise is also makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Now, this is also expressing one idea, right? So, what we learn, if two nouns expressing one idea, that is slow and steady, are expressing one idea. Early to bed and early to rise is expressing one idea. Bread and butter is expressing one idea. So when they express one idea, the verb is in singular, right? Now next, if two singular subjects are preceded by each or every, the verb is in singular. I repeat, if two singular subjects are preceded by each or every, the verb is in singular form. Look at this example. Each hour and each day is valuable. Hour is preceded by each, day is preceded by each, right? Both are singular subjects. So then your verb should be singular. Similarly, look at this sentence. Every student and every teacher has attended the meeting. Student is singular, teacher is singular, every it is attached preceded by every, so your verb should be singular. So what do we learn? If two singular subjects are preceded by each or every, the verb is in the singular. So each hour and each day is valuable. Every student and every teacher has attended the meeting, right? Next one. If the subject is preceded by one of and either of, the verb is in singular. Now, the other rule is, if the subject is preceded by one of and either of, the verb is in the singular, even though your subject is plural. For example, one of my friends is in Delhi. Now, friends is plural, but it is preceded by one of, so your verb should be singular and not plural. Look at this. Either of them has to come. Them is plural, preceded by either of, so your verb should be singular. One of the glasses is empty. Though glasses is plural, it is preceded by one of, so your verb should be singular. So what do we learn? If the subject is preceded by one of and either of, the verb is in the singular, right? Example, one of my friends is in Delhi. Either of them has to come. One of the glasses is empty. Next, rules of subject verb agreement. Next rule. Two or more singular subjects connected by or either, neither, nor take a singular verb, right? Two or more singular subjects connected by or, either, neither, nor take a singular verb. For example, Gokul or Kiran. Now, Gokul is one singular subject, Kiran is one singular subject, but they both are connected by or, so your verb should be singular, that is has. Similarly, either he or his friend has to solve the problem. He is one singular subject, friend is another singular subject, connected by either or, right? It is connected by or. Neither Anupama nor Nilima is present. Anupama and Nilima are singular subjects. They are connected by nor. So, we have to use our singular form of verb. So, what do we learn? Two or more singular subjects connected by or either, neither, take a singular form. Example, Gokul or Kiran has to go there. Either he or his friend has to solve the problem. Neither Anupama nor Nilima is present. Is it clear? Next, note that if the subjects are of different number, then the verb must be plural. The plural subject must be placed before the verb. For example, look at this sentence. Gopal and his friends have to do it. Gopal is singular, friends is plural. So if it is like this, then your plural subject must be placed before the verb. Before the verb, there should be always the plural subject. If you have a singular subject and a plural subject in a sentence, always place the plural subject before the verb, and your verb should be in plural. Look at this. Neither the leader nor his followers were present. So what is the rule? If the subjects are of different number, the verb must be plural and the plural subject must be placed before the verb. For example, Gopal and his friends have to do it. Neither the leader nor his followers were present. Next, if two or more subjects connected by either, or, neither, nor are of different persons, not the same person, the verb agrees with the one nearest to it. Once again, I'll tell the rule. If two or more subjects connected by either, or, neither, nor are of different persons, the verb agrees with the one nearest to it. See, look at this sentence. Either she or I am to blame. I is the nearest one, so it will take the verb am. Neither you nor he has done it. He is the nearest verb. It is singular, so you have used has. Neither the shoes nor the bag matches the dress. Now it is not the shoes, but we have to take into consideration bag, right? So what we learn, if two or more subjects connect by either, or, neither, nor, and are of different persons, the verb agrees with one nearest to it. Example, either she or I am to blame. Neither you nor he has done it, right? Neither the shoe nor the bag matches the dress, right? Now next, two singular subjects connected by and take a verb in the plural form. Remember, two singular subjects connected by and take a plural form of verb. For example, Sam and Malik are brothers. Sam is one singular subject, Malik is one singular subject, but they are connected by and, so they will take a plural verb. He and I have lifted the box. He is one subject, I is one subject, connected with and, so our verb should be plural. Radha and Meera are coming home. Radha is one subject, Meera is one subject. Both are connected by and, so our verb is are. So what do we learn? Two singular subjects connected by and take a verb in the plural form. Example, Sam and Malik are brothers. He and I have lifted the box. Radha and Meera are coming home. Clear? Now, next, the nouns which appear to be plural in form, ending in S, but singular in meaning, take a singular verb. Right? So, Once again, I'll repeat the rule. The nouns which appear to be plural in form, ending in S. Generally, when it ends in S, we think it is plural. But singular in meaning, take a singular verb. For example, economics is a difficult subject, right? Economics, though it looks like a plural word, it is one subject. So our verb should be in singular. Look at the next one. The news is not true. Though news is a plural word, it is a single subject. So our verb should be in singular form. Look at this sentence. Measles is not a dangerous disease. Though measles look plural, it is one single name of a disease, single disease. So our verb should be in singular. The wages of sin is death. Right? So what do we understand? The noun which appear to be plural in form, ending in S, but singular in meaning, take a singular meaning. Verb. For example, economics is a difficult subject. Economics looks like it's a plural form, right? But it is, this is not, it is singular in meaning, right? So we have to use our helping verb is. Similarly, the news is not true. When we look at the word news, it looks like a plural word, but the meaning is single, right? So we have to use our helping verb is. Measles is not a dangerous disease. Measles look like plural, but then generally if it ends with S, we think that it is plural, right? But it is singular in meaning. So we have to have our verb in singular. The wages of sin is death, right? So what do we understand? The nouns which appear to be plural in form, but singular in meaning, take a singular verb, right? And take they are singular in form. Example, economics is a difficult subject. The news is not true. Measles is not a dangerous disease. The wages of sin is death. Excuse me. Now, next rule. The nouns which appear to be plural in form. Sorry. If a plural noun is placed between the singular subject and the verb must agree with the real subject. Now look at this rule once again. If a plural noun is placed between the singular subject and the verb must agree with the real subject. For example, the quality of the apples was not good. Now, generally, we will take apples. We'll think apples is plural, so our verb should be plural. But are we talking about apples or are we talking about quality? We are talking about quality. So, your verb should agree with quality and so it should be singular. The beauty of the flowers has attracted them. Are we talking about flowers or are we talking about beauty? Our subject is beauty. So, our verb should be has. So what do we understand? If a plural noun is placed between the singular subject and the verb must agree with the real subject. Example, the quality of the apple was not good. The beauty of the flowers has attracted them. Now, next rule is numerical expressions like dozen, thousand, lakh, million, etc. have plural form when they are preceded by number words. Once again, I'll tell the rule. Numerical expressions like dozen, thousand, lakh, million, etc. have plural form when they are preceded by number words. For example, 2 dozen eggs are packed in this basket. Now, dozen is preceded by this number word, right? 2. So, our verb should be in plural. So also look at this sentence. 500 boxes have been ordered. Now the numerical expression 100, right, is preceded by number word 5. So it should have plural form of verb have. So what do we understand? Numerical expressions like dozen, thousand, lakh, million have plural form of verb when they are preceded by the number words. Next, a collective noun takes a singular verb when it is thought of a whole. It takes a plural verb when the individuals are thought of. Say, for example, in this sentence, the committee has chosen its secretary. Now here, the committee is considered as a whole, right? So we have used it as singular verb. But here, the crew were taken prisoners. We are considering it as individuals. So we have to use our plural verb. Now note that sometimes the verb might be singular or plural depending on the writer's intent. For example, most of the jury is here or are here. Might say is here when he takes jury as one, or might say are here when he takes the individual members of the jury, right? Similarly, all of my family has arrived or have arrived, depending on whether he's taking the family as a unit or the members of the family. So these are some of the rules that we follow, right? So now let us do a small exercise to see if we have really understood what we have learned so far. Now choose the correct form of verb that agrees with the subject. My father and my mother dash attending the meeting. Should we use is or should we use are? We should use are. Why we should use are? If two singular nouns are of different persons, right, then the verb must be plural, right? If two singular nouns are of different persons, then the verb must be plural. Next one. Nobody dash what the truth is. Nobody knows what the truth is. The news dash at 7. Are or is? You have to write is because news is singular in meaning, right? The management dash know how to treat teachers. Doesn't know how to treat teachers, right? The management doesn't know how to treat teachers. Next one. 500 rupees dash what I paid for the ticket. Now always remember, money will take singular form. So 500 rupees is what I paid for the ticket, right? Now let us look at some more sentence. There dash 10 books in that box. Books is plural, right? So what will you write? There were 10 books in that box. Next one. Each one of those books dash a classic. If your noun is preceded by each, then we learned that our verb should be singular. So we will use each one of those books is a classic, right? The film, including all the advertisements, take or takes? The answer is takes about 3 hours to watch. Now next one. Civics were taught or was taught? Was, because civics is one subject, right? Dash their scissors at home. Now you should say are there scissors at home, Right? Is it clear? Now let us look at this sentence. Convert the verb in the following sentence to make them agree with the subject. For example, the sentence is Ramesh and Robert is good friends. Is it right? No. Then what is your answer? Your answer is Ramesh and Robert are good friends. Right? Now, why did we say that Ramesh and Robert are good friends? Two individuals, if it is joined by this thing, it should be plural. Yeah. Right? Next. Each one of us have some work experience. What is the correction that you will do? Each of us has some work experience, because your sentence is preceded by each, right? So there you must use your verb should be in singular form, right? Next one. Here is my car keys. What are we talking about? Keys. Keys is singular or plural? Plural. So what should your verb be? Your verb should be, here are my car keys, right? Next sentence we'll see. My pair of pants requires stitching. How should you make this verb agree? What should you do? Your answer should be, my pair of pants requires stitching, right? Now look at this sentence. Neither the student nor the parent know the answer. What is wrong in this sentence? The right answer is, neither the student nor the parent knows the answer. Right? Now, let us do some more. Either the director or the actor are responsible for the failure. Now, we know that if our nouns are preceded by either, neither, right? Then our verbs should be in singular. So what is our answer? Our answer is, either the director or the actor is responsible for the failure, right? Similarly here also, neither the script nor the dialogue was interesting. Two different things, right? Neither the script nor the dialogue were interesting, right? Next one. The sale of water and soft drink increased during summer. What should your answer be? The sale of water and soft drink increases during summer, right? Now let us look at this example. 6 months are all I have to find a time. Now, though this is plural, 6 months is one subject, right? It is singular. It is considered as one time, right? So your right answer is 6 months is all I have to find a job. Is it clear? So 6 months is single. It is defined as single time. Next, the last one we'll do. The book, including the CD and free gifts, is not. The books, including the CD and the free gifts, are not worth the price. And our right answer is, the books, including the CD and the free gifts, is not worth the money. Right? So this is how we have to agree with our subject. Our subject should agree with our verb. Now just to conclude, let us just look at the rules once again. What is our first rule? If the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. Right? If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, then the verb should be in singular. Right? Then if two singular nouns refer to different persons, the verb must be plural, right? If two nouns express one idea, the verb is in the singular. If two singular subjects are preceded by each or every, the verb is in singular form, right? Then the next rule is, if the subject is preceded by one of and either of, the verb is in the singular. The next one is, two or more singular subjects connected by either or neither nor take a singular verb, right? Then note that if the subjects are different number, the verb must be plural, right? The verb must be plural. Okay? Then next, what you are doing? If two or more subjects connect by either or neither nor are of different persons, the verb agrees with the one nearest to it, right? Then finally, two singular subjects connected by and take a verb in the verb will be in the plural form. The nouns which appear to be plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb, right? And then the nouns, and if a plural noun is placed between the singular subject and the verb must agree with the real subject, right? And next is that the numerical expressions like dozen, thousand, lakh, million, etc. have plural form when they are preceded by the number words, right? And finally, a collective noun takes a singular verb when it is thought of a whole, and it takes a plural verb when the individuals are thought of, right? So these are the rules that you have to follow. There are some more rules. If you want, you can surf in the net, but only advice is that if you have to have perfection in subject verb agreement, you have to do a lot of exercise. Now the exercise that I have given here, again redo it and think. Don't just blindly take the answers, but ask a question. Why we have to use a singular verb? Why we have to use a plural verb? Then look at your rules and then understand it completely so that you don't forget, because these are very confusing and dicey. So I hope you'll do the exercises, you'll do your homework. Have a nice day. Be safe, wear your masks, maintain distance, and don't go out unnecessarily. So see you till we meet for the next session. Thank you very much. Now I would also want to bring this to your notice that all the images that I take are from the Google, right? So thank you so much.